What's good? What's
What's
good?
going on, people? What's going on?
What's
Good.
happening? What's happening?
I'm just here
What's his
for the
name?
What's happening,
fun, man.
everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Everybody act like
Oh
they fell
shit.
asleep or something.
Leonardo done got a tan like a motherfucker, boy. I swear.
I just
You know
turned
what I
the
mean?
lights on, man.
You know.
He got a
You know,
tan.
we was out there on that, we was out there on that Titanic for a while, you know what I
Mhm.
Wait a minute, what this dude say,
So
mean?
man?
when they
Leonardo,
imploded, you just yeah, that's okay. Never mind.
No, never
yeah,
mind.
never mind, man. No, no.
My
Let it
bad.
go, Rock. Just let it go, man. Rock, what we talking about today, man?
Man, we talking about what we dislike in about Fragcom.
Mm.
Now, see how you made me the
Ooh.
bad guy. You was like what we liked about Fragcom, and now I'm gonna do what we disliked. So you're gonna make me the bad. Okay, right.
It's nothing personal,
Uh,
man. Nothing personal, man. Nothing
mhm.
personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we
I
talking about what
feel
we like about Fragcom, and we're saying that we're not being disrespectful. We're not talking about. We're not
Yes, we
here
are.
to dog Fragcom. We're just talking about some of the things that can be irritating, and some of the things that and just like you, everything is not 100%. There are some things that we just feel like it could be better, as far as the industry is concerned, and also as far as the community is concerned. We're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So, fellas, we started with
Well,
my
let's throw
man.
this. Let's throw the disclaimer out there, man. It's our personal likes. It's not. We're not speaking for. We're speaking from our personal viewpoints. And so, which may not be everybody. We may not have the same viewpoints, but it's our personal dislikes. So just throw that disclaimer out there, Rock. If that was okay.
You just did.
All
So
right,
we,
all right, all right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
We got time for disclaimers.
right.
Everybody's gonna agree with us on this.
Right.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, but fellas, what to kind of kick it off, we talked about on the last show the things that we liked in that happens in Fragcom, but everything ain't always peaches and cream. So what are some of the things that kind of turn you off, or you feel like it could be done better in Fragcom? Because I mean, a lot of the price points of some of these perfumes and colognes and stuff that we use are kind of out of whack. So that can be something that we dislike. That's just an example. What are some of the other things?
I,
Weirdos.
I yeah, I
Yeah.
kind
So
of
just rip
Get
the
right to it.
band-aid off, right,
Get
Dre?
right
Just
to it.
rip the
right on.
band-aid off.
Right on off, man.
Rip it
Get
on
right
off.
to it. He said, get right to it.
So what about
I
weirdos,
think
man?
one
Well,
thing I
go
don't
ahead,
like,
G-Man.
man, is especially on these yeah, and you guys that follow us, you all know we're in a lot of these fragrance groups, and I'm gonna give a shout out to one in particular, man, Fragrance Brotherhood 2. So I'm giving a shout out to that one. It's a good one, just starting out. So if you get a chance, go check it out and kind of join that one. So that's a good one too. But I think one of the things that I dislike is when you have a topic and there's a question um, on the topic, say for example, whatever the topic may be, and rather than somebody giving their opinion, they're trying to convince everybody else that they're in the right. They made the post, but they don't want the criticism or they don't want the feedback that they get. All they want is reassurance that what they said was right. So I think that's one of my things that I'm not really, because for me it's kind of like, okay, well, if you want an opinion, you ask for opinion, then accept the opinion. You don't have to like it, but just understand that everybody's got an opinion and you may not agree. And so that's one of the things I dislike about some of the chats and chat groups we're in, the frag groups we're in, and I guess that's human nature. But that's one thing that I know that I'm not really crazy about.
But what I've come to realize, especially since social media has been so popular, and me, you, and me, G Man, and Bernie, and I guess Dre, are
What you
old.
mean you guess me? What's going on?
Well, we're old enough to know we're old enough to experience a life outside of social
Social
media,
network.
right?
Oh, I am too. I ain't grew up in this age.
All right. So, but what I was trying to say is that what social media has taught me, and this goes to what Leonard has said, is that you'd be surprised at how many people don't understand the concept of subjectiveness, right? They feel like that everyone's supposed to think and feel and learn and know a certain way. And if you don't do it their way, you're doing it the wrong way. Right. And so it's just I think it just comes it incorporates with dealing with so many people on a broad level at the same time.
You know what I hate?
What you
Weirdo.
dislike?
Oh, dislike. Yeah, I dislike with a passion when I'm trying to sell something, and then somebody comes under my post and says, "Hey, man, you can get that for cheaper at this place." Did I
Are
ask
you
you
talking
that?
about when you're trying to sell a
Or
fragrance?
or say something
Yeah,
negative about it and they don't have it or whatever.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can get it cheaper somewhere else, cool. Don't come under my post saying that. Like, look, bargain if you want it. If you don't, just keep it moving. You don't have to say nothing. Stop being a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about this? I see this often. I never see it two ways. I see it one way. Some guy may
I know what
buy
you're about to say. I know. I was
a
about to say that.
duplicate of something,
I
a
was about to
duplicate
say
of
that.
original, but they'll post that this is far better than. I get many more compliments than the real thing.
That's the one I was gonna pick.
On the reverse, I never see the person with the real thing comparing it with a duplicate.
I was gonna say
Oh,
something
yeah,
about
because they're
that.
not going to. They don't feel like they have anything to prove. That's what I've always said. Like people that do that, I really believe like they're trying to convince themselves that what they're saying is correct. Because anybody with
It,
the actual thing, they're
it's
not going through all that. I got it.
it's the defense mechanism. Me and Leonard talked about this on a post the other day when they're always trying to compare creeds to
Do
the alternatives or the clones, right?
oh my bad.
And this, that, and the other. But at the same time, the moment that they can get a creed for half the price, they jump on it, right? So, right.
But
So,
they don't like it.
right. But if Creed was as bad as they say, why would you want it if the clone is so much better? Right. So,
Right.
mhm.
That
And I
was
think
my.
go ahead, B man.
No, that's one of the things I never I never understood is like a niche person doesn't go out their way to say this is better than that or whatever. Hey, this is my fragrance or whatever. And then the people who are cheap, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, cheap. They come out and they're defensive. They instigate it. It's like they want all of this validation. And if that's what you want to wear, then you wear it. But you don't hear anyone else saying anything about it. You a damn fool to think a Toyota is better than a Maybach. You a damn
Well,
fool to think what you're saying is legit. And then the other thing is, I don't wear stuff for compliments. I wear it because that's what I want to wear.
yeah.
And to me is extremely feminine, and I never understand why people do that. That
well,
just burns me up.
that also brings the thing. Like you said, a lot of these people are not wearing stuff for themselves. They're going for
Hmm.
what everybody else likes.
Hmm.
So if everybody else says they like it, then they're gonna automatically like it, whether they like it or not.
Which
And
is
then they have to convince us that what we get, we um what we get is not as good, even though it's more expensive. It's like, okay, sure.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
clown us it. You spent all this money on that, and I spent $20 in Burlington. That's your damn business. Ain't nobody asked you all of that. Who cares?
Mine lasts 700 hours. Good
Hey,
But now
man.
can Can there
Taking a
be some
bath at any
truth to
point?
that? I mean, can there
What?
be some truth to what they're saying somewhat? For example,
I mean, it's
Sure.
we
personal
all know.
preference.
Well,
It's personal preference.
right.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I'll say it
Let me
like
use an
this.
example.
Oh, go ahead.
If designers routinely are more built for the masses. So if you
Facts.
were a designer, in most cases, you're going to get more compliments than you would a niche, because our noses, they're far more complex than the average person. So what we would pick up in a fragrance, they would completely miss.
Yeah.
So to the people that are not experienced, then yeah, that 59 bottle or whatever it is going to smell better than a niche, because they're not sniffing it for the same reason we're sniffing. We're picking up everything in that fragrance. They're
Yeah.
picking some of those notes with, so it could be some truth to it, depending upon the maturity of their noses.
Now,
Well, hold on. Well,
I,
let's think about it like this now.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's say you have a race car, right?
Mhm.
And you say, I'm gonna get this. What's the good gas? The E89 or whatever it's called, E90 something, E something,
I know you're about. Yeah, I know you're
whatever you put in race cars. And then somebody
about.
comes out here and just get some 85 gas. And we're like, well, I can drive even longer than you. I got
I
gas
think
too. Like,
I think a good example of
but
Dre would
wait a minute,
be
hold on. Going back to what Leonard was talking about earlier, right? There are some people, and I'm not trying to be the advocate for this, that, and the other, but there are some people that aren't buying niche for the quality and this, that, and the other. There are some people that
right,
are buying niche for the name, right?
right.
And so, I mean, on that same opposite scale, where people are doing it for compliments and this, that, and the other. Some people are doing it for status, and some people are doing it just to say, okay,
Yeah.
I got this $400 or $500 fragrance, this, that, and the other,
Well, yeah.
regardless of what or what it
But
smells like.
at the same time, you see a lot of those people come back and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have bought this, man. It don't smell good at all. Well, you're not buying it for the right reason. Like,
Right.
anytime you're buying something because somebody else said it, you're getting it for the completely wrong reason. Like, you're not getting it for, like, I think there's a difference between people in the community that are there for the art of fragrances and people that are there for compliments.
Good summary, Dre.
Most people are looking for compliments. So they're gonna go with whatever the hottest thing is at the time. Everybody says smells good because they're fishing for compliments. If we say something about, we'll just say Aventus because I don't feel like thinking about anything else. Let's just say Aventus.
That's the easiest one to come out your
It's
mouth.
just easiest one. So
Yeah.
we say all this good stuff about Aventus. Oh man, it's smoky. It has the pineapple. It has the blah blah blah, the blah 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 blah. They don't catch that other stuff that we're talking about. They're just looking for, oh man, I walked around all day. Nobody said anything about it. Okay, do you
And I
like it
spent
though?
all this money.
I'm like, so then it becomes a complaint.
And to me, that's all it is for me, because I'm like, nobody ain't got to say nothing. If it is, it's a plus.
Nothing.
It's a plus. But if I can walk around and just be in my own sillage, y'all gonna say I'm getting out of control. But
You're getting out of control, man. You're getting out of control.
You feeling good over there? You feeling good?
You just be in my own sillage, man. Ain't nothing else like it. I ain't tripping on
No, man, like it.
That's where your swag comes from. And I can sit there and I know I'm smelling good. You know what I'm saying?
And nobody else smelling like you either.
Right. And
that's another thing, man.
I'm
gonna tell you too, man.
It's not mass appealing to everybody else. Okay, you don't get it, but to me,
it's fire.
To me, you can't tell me nothing. I know I don't stink. So
the only thing I'm like, it's better than dirt water. So dirt and sweat.
Man,
so
y'all are not gonna believe this, man. But I got the best compliment today than I've had on a day it came from me. That's damn.
Yeah, that happens.
And that's all that matters, man.
No, that's all about. I mean, and I don't want to put it out there like we don't appreciate when somebody notices it. Because I know for me myself, I do appreciate when somebody says, "Oh man, you smell good." Because I just had somebody the other day, a lady the other day at Taco Bell, which I shouldn't have been there. She said she smelled me from the back of the kitchen. So she was like, "Oh man, it's a man up here." Like, all right, but it feels good to get it, but this is not the purpose of me getting fragrances. Like I get it because I like it. I like the creative control that the perfumer took with creating this fragrance.
Yep.
So that it,
Look at Drake. Put them glasses on, Professor.
no, hold
He
on,
talking.
guys.
Yeah, he got him.
He talking.
There we go.
He talking. He talking. He talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you gotta find out what you're, and that's why I tell everybody that comes and asks me a question about something when they're new to the game. I'm like, find your purpose. Like Leonard told me, find your purpose. Like if you're out here to get compliments galore, go to Dillard's, go to Macy's. There's no reason for you to spend millions of dollars. Not that we spend millions of dollars, of course, but there's no reason for you to spend all this money on a fragrance when you're looking for a certain thing. These are mass appealing fragrances. Dillard's, and there's nothing wrong with those fragrances at all, if that's what you're looking for.
Let me
Oh,
ask
go ahead, Rob.
name a food that you don't like.
A food that I don't like?
Yeah.
Beans, peas, coleslaw.
Okay, so any particular type of bean.
Yeah, beans. No, I hate them. Hate them all.
Just beans, period.
All
Right.
of them?
Yeah.
So if
All of them.
everybody came to you and sit there and talked about, okay, beans are the best thing ever. Beans is great. Beans is it. Are you just gonna keep trying beans just to see if you can get what the hype is?
Nope. It's over.
Grip that you don't like beans, right?
It's over.
Continue to try it.
That's what makes it so weird. Because like,
Right.
that's another thing I don't really like about one of the big things I don't like, and I know this to be true, is the people that will go out and buy the mass appealing stuff that everybody's talking, all the hype stuff. They'll come back, know it smells like garbage, and still try to sell it to you. I'm like, sir, I know you don't like this. You don't even like this. Why are you trying to sell me on it? Like, oh man, this is. I'm telling you, man, you need to go ahead and get this such and such. It's like, for what? You don't like it. Like, if you liked it so much, what are you selling it for? Doesn't make sense.
That's even amongst niche perfumery, right? So it's not even a designer versus niche or cheap versus niche or clone.
Anything.
It's anything. I mean, there's people that that is some niche that other niche people just don't like, right? Right. There's some people that you'll sit there and we'll talk about blockade. Some people don't get blockade. We'll talk about hypnotizing fire. Some people don't get hypnotizing fire. So yeah, I mean it's just about your personal taste, right? And what we talked about in the beginning, you have to accept the fact that there's subjectivity amongst us. He don't like beans, he may love beans. I don't like salmon. Y'all might love salmon.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right. So
and
you don't.
I'll pass on salmon, man. That ain't my thing. But I'm not trying to convince you that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's just one of the things. Like if you don't like it, there's no need for me to say. If we even go back to Rock's example with the beans, if like have somebody come up and say, "Oh, you don't eat beans? Oh, you ain't had my beans." You're right, because I don't like beans. That's it.
And won't be having them either, huh?
Like, I won't be having them. It's like you're trying to sell us on this stuff that you don't like, and you're trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. It's weird. Like just go at your own pace, get what you can get. Like you don't have to have. I know people envy. People do envy our collections. We know this. But at the same time, like you just have to realize, like you don't have to be where we at. Because we're in it for a certain thing. Like we're not in it to. Well, I don't care about impressing everybody else.
But I'm going to say that I think what it is because, like I said, I've had one of those people come through and sample pretty much everything that's in my collection, And I think the motivation is because if you look at their collection, and I don't want this to sound the wrong way because this is going public, so it's no diss.
It's gonna sound wrong, man.
It's
We
gonna
already
sound
know.
crazy.
Right. So
I can see
You're a
the setup.
frag snob, man. You're a frag snob. It's
no
gonna
diss,
sound
no
wrong.
disrespect or anything like that. But you can tell that the type of fragrances that we like are completely different, right? And so I think what they do when they do that, they want to get that validation that they're doing something right, right? By not going in for the type of fragrances that we go for, right? They'll come through and they'll be like, well, this wasn't all that. So I'm okay with what I'm doing, which is the more popular, the least expensive stuff like that, right? And so, and you know, it gives them that they like, well, either I'm missing out on something or I'm not missing out on something, right? And so they go on from there like that. But like you said, it is a bit of a thing where they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or they're trying to figure out if they need to keep up with the Joneses.
I mean, but either way, it just ends up still being bad. Like even going that route with it, like you're still trying to, because then there there ends up being the other community where they're trying to what is it, like fight the popular, so to speak.
Against the grain.
Yeah, like you're going against the grain for no reason at all. Like you're still not getting what you would like to get. You're purposely going against this because everybody else has it or they like it.
Now, in somewhere in that lane, another thing that I dislike is if we could be talking about a fragrance and then someone will come out of nowhere, well, I don't like it. And this happened in Brotherhood. And I don't know if anybody remember the post. I asked her, well, what is it that you do like? Well, I like Versace. I like Savage. I said, well, that pretty much answers the question. You never smelt it before. You saying you don't like it, and you never even sampled it. You know, you just hating on the fragrance just to be hating on it for no reason at all. You know, I don't understand that.
And I do feel like that people have a right to feel about how they feel about a fragrance. What I have a problem with is wording, right? To sit there and say this sucks as opposed to saying this doesn't work for me. I don't.
Because if it doesn't work for you, that's completely fine.
Right.
And then sometimes they can't even tell you why. If you even ask them why, I just don't like.
Well,
it's like
they'll say this smells like garbage truck juice, or this smells like blah 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 blah, or whatever, as opposed to saying I didn't get it, I didn't pick it up because this, that, and the other. Because there are going to be certain things that I hate salmon. You might feel it's delicious, but if I sit there and said that, shoot, salmon smells like a chick that ain't bathing, you know what I'm saying? You would probably be offended because you like salmon, right? So it's like, right. So,
good, man.
Let me tell you something else I don't like.
What's up?
And this is coming from the seller standpoint. I don't like people wasting my time.
Oh yeah,
I made a post about that.
I'm about to say you made a post about this. Like, I'm fine with your questions. I'm not gonna be able to answer all of them, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you come asking all these questions and then somebody swoops in behind you and says, "Hey, I want that," it's gone. So I'm just gonna be answering questions for no reason. But I don't like people that come in and say, "Hey, man, I want this. Can you? I just need like $5 more. So can you hold it until I get that?" No, I can't. Like if I don't, and this is not even to be harsh, but if I don't know you, we're not cool like that. I hold nothing. It's like I have no reason to hold anything for you.
Sometimes it be the audacity of what they ask for.
Yeah.
And it's like, for real, you. And
it bothered me. Even when we did that show, Lenny.
Hey, I ain't putting nothing up for sale. You guys post chat about this kind of stuff. So the only thing I can do is laugh because although you may not say publicly what you're thinking, y'all say some things in the chat, brother. Be for real.
No, because
I mean, it gets
it burns
annoying
me
after
up.
a while.
It burns me up,
I
and I'm not
know.
even selling it. Like Dre may have a cent for 800. He's selling for 2 or 3. And then you got people doing that stuff that he was talking about, making jokes, showing other links, and all this other stuff. And then still try to bargain the basement. Come on, Slim. I mean, the man breaking it down below half, and he's not the only one. Rock done it. A few other people done it. And
And
they still trying to low.
we're talking about
Hmm.
full bottles. We're not talking about
Yeah.
empty bottles, this, that, and the other. We're talking about full bottles. Yeah, we're knocking off 60% of the price for 60% of the price for you're getting a full bottle, and they still want to go a little cheaper.
Or they still want to come back. Hey, man,
And,
I know you're selling that for
that's with the
125, but can I
shipping
get it
price.
for 40?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
Sure.
It's a cat I know, man. I turned him on to a seller, man.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, he ordered from some site I ain't never seen before. Joe, he's still waiting for it to come. And my thing, and this is another thing in Fragcom. If someone's giving you a direct pipeline and saying, hey, go to them to get this fragrance, why in the hell are you going to a site that's not even certified, and then you done lost your money just trying to do what Rock was saying before, like trying to go against the grain? But I don't sell. But it bothers me because these my boys, and I know how much it costs. I see the behind the talk and them setting the price to make it fair for you. And then you still sit there and you talk trash and then try to bargain the basement. One cat asked me like 25 questions only not to get it. I was like, man, why are you wasting these people's time, man? No, to me, I don't understand it. It's a
And the
gift
thing they don't
when they do
realize,
a purge
man,
like
is
that.
the prices that they're quoting includes shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So you want a
Yep.
discount, it may take them $12 to $15 to ship the product. Now they give you a
Mhm.
discount, and they're automatically losing money based upon what they paid for it. Automatically,
Oh, yeah.
you don't gain, you lose money.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
And you
then here
want
they go. Then they get a bottle of old apple juice with some monkey piss. Next thing you know, they complaining. It's like, man,
I'm
y'all
tired of that
You
too.
know
wild.
what?
I'm so tired of
Because that's why they're so easy to scam, because they want something for nothing. And
for
as soon
nothing.
as somebody say, okay, I got a vintage for $75, they jumping on it. They're like, wait, they want to get
Oh, you getting you some monkey piss there, bro. Yeah, that's monkey piss.
right.
And that's why I keep saying. That's why I keep saying, like, most, not all, but most people that get scammed deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, most people that get scammed deserve it, because you're not doing, like, we've had shows on it. Plenty of other people have talked about it in these groups, how to save yourself. You're still going out here doing stupid stuff. Like, why in the world, if you know Louis Vuitton fragrances are sold nowhere for discount at all?
Nowhere.
Not a single place. And then somebody comes out with a $400 bottle of Louis Vuitton something and says, hey, $125. You just got 100 people to send you $4,000 for the same bottle of cologne.
I got to break bread with the brothers because I know the dude ain't going to tune in, man. I know he's not going to tune in. He wakes me up. Hey, B. Hey, B. Look what I found. A bottle of Louis. And I said, how much she selling it for? $25. I hung up. $25, bro.
I'm like, we giving you the formula. Like, you got the formula to not
right hand, bro. He literally $25 for Louis. We're talking about 75% bottle full, right? Oh, it smells so good. I was like, man, okay. $25?
Then I've gotten $25, man. An empty bottle costs more than that.
It's gonna be 100 at least. Bro. At least 100. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, and like, I don't know how many times, like, I've talked to people. We've had shows about it.
2.
You put out content. You say it in the groups. Like,
Let me say
hey,
you had
I
two
even put
shows
in
about
the BFA. I'm like, I put up a whole post about it. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, how are you still getting scammed in the dumbest way possible? It's like I'm seeing so many people, and most of the time I just laugh at it.
Mhm.
I'm seeing so many people that will have a back and forth with the person that's selling it, and the back and forth just sounds so dumb. It's like, hey man, I really want this. Oh no, take your time. I'll have it forever. Uh, just send your money here.
Yeah,
PayPal
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
it
take your time.
pay,
where it gets to the
pay,
point
pay.
where I'm like, I would rather keep some because some of the things that they ask you, I was like, I'd rather keep it in my collection. You get
Yeah.
it twisted as to why I'm selling it, brother. It's not. I don't need the money like that. I'm trying to create space. So when you come here and you insult me and you can up here and you this, that, and the other, I would just rather keep it, or I'll wait till the next person comes along and makes me an offer. I don't have time. All right.
No, because
Yeah,
that's
because
literally all
it
it is.
ain't
We're
like
just making space.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it ain't
No,
like
go
if
ahead,
it's
Leonard.
in your collection, it's because you did like it. So it's
Right.
not like you got anything in your collection you don't like.
You like
So
it?
it's the same thing, man. Same principle. Well, if it doesn't sell, I just keep it. Ain't no problem. I don't dislike it.
You're right.
I wait for another
No,
rainy day to come around. You fool around and convince me to keep it. I'll go on and keep it. I'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you one thing that I dislike about a lot of people that will buy fragrances from a brand and not know the meaning of the brand and what it's the fragrance is meant to do. And let me give you
That's
an
like
example.
no, okay.
75% of Fragcom, regardless of the brand. Because most people just assume that a fragrance is supposed to be loud and projects and supposed to last
Right.
for hours, regardless of what it is.
I'm about to come back to that. I'm about
Right.
to come back to that. Go
Based
ahead. Go
on the
Regardless
ahead.
of what it
cost.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come
And
back
there
And
to
are
then
that.
there's
some and
and then it, like you about to say, Leonard, they associate the price of the fragrance with how long it's supposed to last. Right. And
how
so
loudly it projects.
mhm,
Hmm.
right. And so it is crazy. What was you about to say, Bertie?
But see, Dre dropped the gem
Mm-hmm.
last year, and I had to tell it to a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this costs 25. Oh man, it's a reason why that stuff cheap. And Dre said on the show, you need to pay attention to what's in those bottles because you putting chemicals in your body, and you sitting here being cheap, and then the next thing you know, you get skin cancer or some other little bullshit because you want to be cheap. The reason why these niche fragrances are the way they are, these are real ingredients. They blended a particular way, and there's no fragrance meant to last for 24 damn hours. I don't want nothing to last that long, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know how you even get to the point to where you find out something lasts for 24 hours.
yeah,
Look here, man.
it's
I don't
wild.
know. Some of my
But
clients are whole, man. Take a shower and still smell it the next day.
no, but you
But
know what I'm
Well,
talking about.
you know,
I'm not gonna
it's
say
the
the
I was
odor
brand.
about to
content
say,
I'm
of
not
it.
gonna say the
but
brand of the
DC
cologne.
is
I'm not gonna say the brand of the cologne, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, what you got to do is open it up and let it breathe a little bit. Then it's not as harsh. God damn, if it's harsh, I don't need it. If it's that damn bad that the fragrance giving me a headache and all of this other stuff, just let it breathe and let it sit for a while. You know, it's one of the best fragrances ever. I said, man, y'all not even paying attention to what you put in your body. The hell with that shit, man. Dre, he talked about it for 15 minutes. He said, y'all keep on messing around and keep putting that cheap stuff on you. You don't know what them chemicals that you put in your body. Your skin got pores. Pores go into the body. It gets
no,
into the bloodstream.
it goes
I
right
mean,
in there. I was
so
like,
I mean,
that's why it's so confusing to me. Like people say this alcohol because that's all it really is. fragrance fragrance alcohol. The
mm-mm,
95% alcohol with
mm-mm.
maybe
oil.
5% something.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
spray it on and laugh forever. Of course it lasts forever, jackass. Like, it's stuck on
But
you.
You
Crazy,
better
then
not
bro.
walk in front of a fire, man.
That's
Hmm.
what I'm saying. You're gonna burn up. It's over with.
Hmm.
and then it's also the understanding of what their fragrances is supposed to do. Like Leonard was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's
Mm-hmm.
certain fragrances that was only built the the brand only built it to do a certain thing or to last a certain way. Some fragrances are meant to be light. They smell wonderful. That's what they wanted it to do. They wanted to smell wonderful. They wanted to be close on your skin. They wanted the person to come
You hit it
close.
right on the nose, right there.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's an
Right.
intimate thing.
You wanted the person to come close to you. Right.
Yep.
If you sprayed on a clone and it's beast mode as opposed to what it's supposed to be, they said, that's not the fragrance.
You choking
Man,
somebody out, man.
you smacking her all in the face. Cat. Like, damn.
You'll have an intimate moment in there. Like you just out here you slapping everybody. Like,
Right.
what you look like? You got on a suit, a nice fresh tuxedo or something with the loudest fragrance in mankind. You look like an idiot.
Killing flowers on the table, flies flying out midair, and all that, man.
How about if you ever have a reaction, and just for you people that do this, that love these beast mode fragrances, if you ever go out and look around and your reaction is, and you just happen to just tune in a little bit, tune in and just listen to what's happening around you, and somebody says, "Man, who the hell is that? They sprayed on too much cologne." You're doing too much.
That's worse. That's worse. That's embarrassing, man.
And they walk around smiling, telling me, "Yeah, they checking me out." Yeah,
Like, nah.
They laughing at your dumb ass. That's what they're doing. No, man, you're right.
Because at that point, you become that greasy guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you look like
exactly.
You look like a gas station hot dog.
Right.
Like,
hot dog.
Those are greasy. Ain't that more greasy than a gas station hot dog smell? Just laying in the dough.
It's just rolling around, rolling.
Yo. Man, it's a different. You gotta know how to do it. You gotta know how to do it. Now,
that also comes with people not knowing how to be subtle too, though. People that want to be seen all the time.
True.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me ask this question, man. How
up?
many? Another thing I can tell you, I dislike is people that will buy expensive fragrances, but they look like they just got through working on a car. The whole look just doesn't go together. Run over shoes. I mean, to me, I dislike that. But I'm off in the fragrances. But player, you need to be in the clothes too. Because it goes together. Because,
well,
you know,
yeah, to a degree.
You wonder why you're not getting
look at Brock.
What? I mean, I agree.
No. Yeah,
I mean to a certain extent.
I'm about to say, to a certain extent, I kind of agree.
I don't want to sound.
You're gonna sound that way. Go ahead and say it.
I don't want to sound elitist in that, because I feel like there's a lot of that going around, right? It's not just with how a person dress; it's also with how a person looks, right? So, because we always joke around with the whole thing about, damn, you smell somebody that smells good, and then you turn around, you look, and you be like, well, damn, she made me turn around for nothing, right? So, right. There's a lot of that goes around too. So I don't want to sound like elitist at that point.
But I'm about to say there's a way to look like. I think with that, I don't think on the clothes aspect, there's a way to look good without spending too much money as well.
Right.
So you can still, like, as long as you keep up your appearance, you're good. Like, you don't have to have a $5 million suit or anything. You just be presentable. Because a lot of times, like we talked about before, like when people are searching for these compliments and things, you're not approachable. Like you got on this nice fragrance, but you look like you just crawled out of a garbage can.
And
you look
home. Like you can still present yourself well.
It's crazy because I watched another content creator that it's a female that has her own channel, and she would bring a guy on every other week or whatever, and they would discuss fragrances, and these guys are supposed to be the hottest, whatever, in what they do, but they'll talk about the most. I mean, some will have some heat, and some will come on there with some basic fragrances, and then there. But the appearance that they always have, they always wearing something super tight, and they look uncomfortable. And I'm like, and we supposed to take fragrance advice from these people, but you know, but it's all subjective because folks may not like the way we look, and because we're not the bow. None of us come out here looking like the bow tie fragrance guy or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So we all are just being ourselves. Now,
Yeah.
whatever capacity of what we're doing, you know, Bernie might come with his uniform on. Leonard might come in the suit, this, that, and the other. And I'm a all the time. So, and then Dre comes to how he is, right? So Dre might come with the fro, Dre might come with his braids. So, but that don't you can look at us and tell we're clean, we smell good, we have our own style, we have our own type of swag. So
The thing I want some of the listeners to kind of think about since we're in this realm is that all of that comes together. It's a person I had to talk to, and we talked for a few days, and they dressed just like they were in high school, and we're 52 years old. And I said, you have to wear, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but it do come to a certain point that you have to wear certain stuff and dress a certain way. And then if you're putting on the fragrance, all of it comes together in a whole. And that I'm trying to say it the most politically right way to say it. If you want compliments and you want to draw people, you have to understand grooming is huge. I think Dre or Rock, one of the two said something about it's the grooming, making sure that you bathe well, make sure that you have something. It don't have to be expensive, but make sure that it's appropriate. And then you have the fragrance with the personality. All of that comes together. You can't just buy a $500 fragrance, dress like a little kid, and throw it on, and then you want to know why you're getting a certain reaction that you're getting. All four of us dress differently, but we dress appropriately for those situations. And if compliments and things is what you're looking for, all of that comes together to make the total package, man. And like I had to tell the dude, I'm like, if the chick came out and her hair was napping, she was smelling like trout, what would you do? I said, so why are you sitting here imposing that on somebody else and you dress in a particular way? It's like you're looking for a reaction, but you move in this particular way. So the people who want compliments, all of that comes together. Just like Brock said, swag. So if you're more of an urban person, you wear something that's appropriate, you have the scent, all of that comes together. This is a part of your personality and what you're doing at that time. But don't think because you buy something from Dre on the Purge and it's a $1,500 fragrance that you're gonna be stopping traffic. No, I mean it's a little more.
It don't work
It's a
like
little,
that.
yeah, it's a
well,
little more to
brings
that.
up which
To
brings up
that.
another point because what we found out
Mm.
from having fun with people in Fragcom is
Uh oh. Uh
is
oh.
that folks don't practice the best personal hygiene. Right? And
Ooh.
so,
Hilarious.
yeah, so, and then
Mm.
these same people will complain about performance and longevity um, and that a fragrance doesn't last the best or doesn't perform the best because it's mixing in with your BO, pretty much.
I mean, I don't think you cannot
Hmm.
put vanilla on top of shit and call it a cake.
Mm.
Well, they call it
Good God
musk.
Almighty. He said,
They put
"Mike
vanilla on top of musk.
said." Oh, okay.
Oh, like,
It was just crazy how many excuses, and I'm not saying that a lot of these, I mean, that some of these excuses aren't validated, but we're talking about people that are buying $500, $300 to $500 fragrances, and then their excuses were some people don't have access to water, and I'm like,
You got other
but
problems.
right, you got,
that's the excuse part. Like
Right.
they try to find anything. Like we're not talking about people in these
Right.
special circumstances. We're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about you that are perfectly capable, and you're just choosing not to.
You just choose
But you
not
know,
to.
I question if that's happening. I question how these people carry themselves because even beyond smelling good, dressing good, how you carry yourself means everything. Like Rock's saying, your swag, your maneuver, what you talk about, all that goes together. If you're not taking care of your hygiene, I very
That's number
seriously
one.
doubt that you'd have to have good game just to get attention for have somebody close enough to you to be able to put
Man.
up with you.
Not
But
really.
all that
They
goes
used to be in a
together.
dirty area.
you, you
No,
can have a
I think the
mouthpiece,
man,
man. You stinking. Woo,
yeah,
that's rough.
yeah, that smell, and that musk and that vanilla's not gonna match up too long, man.
See,
But it comes down to swag. You can smell good to get their attention. You can look good, but then the question is, when you face to face with them, can you hold their interest?
Topic
Do you
number
have
4.
conversation?
Topic number
well,
You're
that's
gonna
4.
have conversation.
that's
Can
a
you hold?
whole different thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm about
yo,
to say
yeah.
It goes together.
We can go in on that. We
I'm
can
about
go
to say
in on that.
you got to be prepared to say something. Like once you got the attention, you got to be prepared to say something.
Yeah, like Bernie's saying, you dressing like this, and then you meet him to a woman, and you talking about, yeah, in high school I was a star running back, but you ain't done that since high school. So you still stuck 30 years down the road, still stuck.
Bro. And like I get a hit on the phone. I can say this stuff because I know they're not gonna listen. That they're not gonna tune in. But they would be like, "Man, I wore this, and this, and I didn't get any attention, no compliments. I think this is a waste of time." And I said, "Well, show me what you had on." And he showed me. Then I said, "What did you say?" And I said, "Good God Almighty!" I said, I wouldn't have gave you no hot pot either, man." I said, "Man, I said you was batting, you was batting 0-1, bro. I mean, your mouthpiece was jacked up. You was wearing the wrong stuff. You wearing all these colors and crap, man." I'm like, bro, no wonder she shut you out. I said, let me stop before I get too
Because
far.
you gotta know you gotta know the
Yeah,
caliber of what you're going after. If you're going after somebody that is more of the professional sense, you don't want to
yeah.
approach them with loud colors and smelling like a child. And then
Well,
you're up
Yeah.
here talking about old
oh,
basketball games from 1992.
oh my God. I said, man, you lost the hind pot. You talk too much, man. He
But
was like, talk yourself out of the hind pot. If you weren't blind about what you had on, you think so? Yeah, I think so. I know so. Shit, man.
like, man, I really
Hey,
used to like Michael Jordan back in the day. He was the greatest. Like, what are you
oh,
talking about, man?
oh my God, man. Oh, I said, you talk too much, bro. He was like, man, I was like, nah, bro. I'm gonna leave these
I said,
fragrances
that's what I
alone.
think. That's what I think with this hobby
Yeah,
and the ones that are the compliment fishers. I don't think they understand that there's a lot more that goes into just smelling good.
yeah.
Like you cannot you're never just gonna throw on a fragrance and
Mhm.
somebody says 5 people just stop you. Hey man, what you got on? Like no, like if you
Mhm.
look like that, then no. Like I'm not stopping.
And to
Now I'm
me,
gonna give you
to me, it
I
goes
ain't
back.
mean to cut you off, right? But I'm gonna give you a good example.
Yeah, you
Remember,
did.
Rock, remember when you did that promo with the mink, the
Right.
chinchilla? Oh,
Well, it wasn't all that, but
yeah,
yeah,
but I'm just
I
saying
know
when
what
you
you're
had
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
joint
Rock was
on,
out there cold,
and
man.
Right.
Slim, he had his beard trimmed with the fur and he had the fur. Oh yeah. Rock ready, rock ready. See that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. All of that came together, but what pushed that whole thing, Rock? It was that swag. You did the shoulder hunts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's brisk out here.
but
It all comes
Yeah.
together, bro.
but that's exactly what I was about. It's a good thing you did go first because that's what I was about to lead to. Because
Mm-hmm.
my thing is that I don't never feel like that I'm going to put on nobody what I think that they should wear or how I think that they should look, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about how you feel and how you want to put together this, that, and the other. If that
Yeah.
works for you,
Mm-hmm.
then that
Yeah.
works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I
That
mean,
coat
like,
that-
and that's one thing too. Like
right,
people don't have their own identity in it. It's like they
exactly.
try to
That,
copy somebody else's identity.
that
Uh,
coat that you was referring to Right, that was a Pelly Pelly. People wore Pelly Pelly back in 2005. This, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a 2005 Pelly. That Pelly was made in 2017. Right.
Yeah, they hard to
What I'm
find,
saying is
man.
that the style was out.
Big money.
Right. The style
Big
was out
money.
in 2005. Right. And this, that, and the other. You won't see that around here, but it's my style. You understand what I'm saying? So it
How about
works.
this? We wouldn't be able to rock that the same way you did.
Right.
That was dope. I like that promo.
Right. So,
You know what I said, Rock, when you did that one, man?
Huh?
Rock ain't gonna make it to the show, man. Rock got something going on.
No, what you
He's
said?
gonna be on the show this
week. He said you was about to go on the prowl, bro. You was about to go on the prowl. You weren't gonna make that episode.
No, what I was, what did you say? Leonard.
That's what he said. You weren't gonna make the show, bro.
I said when you had that coat on out in the cold, man, talking out. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rock.
He said this brisk
he
out
ain't
here.
gonna make the show this week, man.
We're gonna talk about winter fragrances. I said, I know that's right. Iceberg Slim. Put it on him. Put it on him. Man. He came out that show like this with the glass. I said, yeah, bro. Yeah. I like that shit.
Jesus Christ, y'all out of control.
It was cool. It was cool. Like I said, it's about the individual person, whatever it is that they feel comfortable with, what their style is. But go all the way with it. You got to be whatever it is. Be clean, be sharp, be whatever with it. Just that and the other. So,
and that's the main thing you said right there. Be clean.
Right.
Like it don't matter what you got on. Like you can. I've seen people rock out with Walmart fits and go crazy. Like it don't matter the cost of the fit. Just make sure it's clean. You put it together well. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in all this, man. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in all this. It's like the last show we did. What are some of the things you dislike on some of our previous shows? This is a hard one right here for me.
Huh?
Well, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I think the only thing I can say I might dislike is that sometimes we have to be resourceful and cut back on the time. We can get in the middle of a vibe and go for 2 hours, but we know we have to restrain ourselves and cut back down. So that's one of the things I don't like, because man, we'll have a show and we'll get to rolling. We did one, it was hour, and I think, I don't know if I said or Rock said we had an hour, and they were like, okay, man, we rolling, let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because we here's what we got to understand. We're doing a podcast. We're not restricted to any time. This ain't a TV show. It's just a podcast. We're not restricted to a time. We can, if we find ourselves in a groove, we just need to roll with it. If we run over 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, like if we're on a good groove, just keep the groove up. Like we don't have to stop it. I mean, of course, unless y'all sleeping.
Thing I could think of that I dislike. I think we got a good vibe. Some shows can be off unhinged and off the change more than others.
Like
and,
this one.
It's all good. But if I don't really dislike much about what we do. But if I had to tag as a dislike, I would say that, we'd have to work within a time constraint. That would be my dislike if I had to label one.
Well, I think if I had to choose one, I'd say probably some of those shows where we really don't have too much to say. Like
we don't have that much passion about.
Yeah, like because I think that comes across too. Is like I think we have some things that we just, in all honesty, we don't care about, and so we don't have. Like, we don't care. Like, just to be honest with you guys, like we don't care. But like that's probably about the only thing I can think of, because I know shows like that is like we're the ones that go over. I like the ones that go over the time. Because, like I said, it's a podcast, and we should be able to do that. But the ones we're fighting to get an hour, and sometimes at 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, guys, we should just cut this off. I just never say it.
Cut cut, yo.
Well, in defense of that, though, in defense of that, realistic, there's some topics, man, that are far easier to handle and talk about than others. Some things,
Yeah,
man,
that too.
you just roll off, boom, 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 and
But I
others
think what the
you have to
Mhm.
go
what
ahead,
the
Rob.
challenge is that we're trying to cover all of Fragcom, but we have
Right.
certain tastes and there's certain things in Fragcom that we just don't care about. Not all necessarily. Like we will sit there and we talked about we had the show idea of perfumers, but
Mhm.
as we talked about it, we can tell that that's not a topic that you guys
We'll be
care about,
passionate about.
right? Right.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot of topics or a lot of things. Like we haven't done a show about designers. We don't care about designers, right? We
Not really.
right. So which I got a question about that later after we finish this one, but it just
Mhm.
goes to what Leonard was saying is that we I mean, or and what Dre was saying, it becomes a lull when it's a particular facet within Fragcom that we just don't have that much interest in. And so,
Well, we
Passion.
try to think of topics of stuff that you want.
mhm,
So some topics we're passionate about and some we don't. But we're just trying to give you the content of the things that
mhm.
we see or things that people have brought to our attention. You know,
And
so
this is
we
also why
passionate.
we tell y'all to give us ideas on what you would like to hear, so we can have.
Hmm.
I mean, because at the end of the day, we're in a position where right now we're pretty much coming up with all the topics and not really
Hmm.
getting any feedback on what y'all would like to hear.
Real talk, real
So
talk.
we could just
Which
end up. Oh, go ahead.
which brings me to what I would call a dislike about our show. I kind of hate the fact that we changed our format to go to recorded shows. I know we weren't supposed to use hate. I dislike the fact that we changed our format to go to
Appreciate that, Rock. Appreciate that, Rock.
right to go to pre-recorded shows. I really like the engagement, the live engagement that we had with our listeners in real time. You know, and I understand the reason why we had to go to live shows, but I do miss the interaction with them. And I wanted to get to the point where we were actually bringing people on
Hmm.
to at least say something and this, that, and the other. And hopefully we can elevate to that. But that is the one thing that I would say that I hate.
Well,
Or
since you
Well,
mentioned that, Rock, why don't you go into a little more detail on why we pulled away from
Ow!
just quick snippet of why we're doing the pre-records versus a live every week.
I mean, I can only go based on my understanding of why we did it. So if you that's what you want to hear, I'll go with that. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, we wanted to make sure that we was putting out the most professional product possible. When we were going live, it was situations where we wasn't able to have all four members on the set at one
hmm.
time,
Right.
and
That's
then
what it
it
is.
was situations where we had signals that would because Dre's on the road quite a bit,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
wherever he's at, he's not getting a great signal. But I mean, a great signal. But since
Hmm.
we committed to since it seemed like we're committed to Sunday at 7, once we committed at Sunday at 7, it just felt like that we needed to go ahead and just go to a recorded format as opposed to
Hmm.
moving the show around to whenever everybody was available. Right.
And that's it in a nutshell. It was a
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
scheduling conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It was a quality content
Mm-hmm.
um, problems that arise. So, not to say that we're going to still do lives
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
in the future. We'll
Hmm.
have something coming up, but we're constantly making adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And what Rock is saying is that we're making adjustments. We're doing because we none of us want to put out material that's not of a quality nature.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we could have gone with
I'm
lives,
about to
but
say, because that
we
was
weren't.
a lot of the issue with why I couldn't be in with a lot of the few guests we've had. I think I was only actually able to be there for D parts
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right,
because
the signals. Yeah.
yeah, my service is straight
Mm-hmm.
trash can juice on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and like to add on to it, if you paid attention to Dre, his interaction was different because now he's not worrying about the road and worrying about the connection and worrying about this. Now he's in his home, relaxed, everything set up, and then he was able to invest in some other equipment with the mic and the camera and stuff like that. And then you could see that the content was better, you know.
Mhm.
But that had to be hard when we was having the show every week and he was constantly on the road, you know.
Mhm.
And if you're on the road, it's hard for him to focus on what we're talking about as well as the business he
Driving.
was doing.
I was about to say, yeah,
I,
that was a big thing too.
yeah, that was rough for
And
him.
I will say this is my personal feelings. I think the shows are better when all four of us are here
Hmm.
instead of someone
Mm-hmm.
being missing. Now I missed two shows, and word got back to me that these guys started cutting up and acting up. So I was summoned here to get back on the show because they just lost their mind. But that's
Yeah, that one
that's
jump we did an
hearsay.
hour and 30 minutes, yo.
See what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
hearsay. So I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's what was said.
Mhm.
So
Look, we had dancers
Yo,
and strippers and everything.
We
see
was
what I'm
going
saying?
crazy.
See what I'm saying?
A full bar. Everybody
yeah.
drinks all night for free. Going
Oh,
crazy.
that's
I
what's
But it's
up.
think
the show's always
I
better
think
with all four people here with all different views, all different backgrounds. So out of the four that's here, somebody you're gonna be able to relate to. So
yeah.
it's always better for all of us to be there. And I think the adjustments we made are for that purpose, so we can all participate equally, and y'all can get the best of all of us. Even though Dre's different from week to week, but you know it
Who's the
is
dude?
what
Oh,
it
that's
is.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I think the one thing that I don't like is once in a while it would be dope if all four of us was in the same place at the same time. And I heard that from a few of the supporters. With all of us having different things, it's tough. But because of technology, we can do a lot. But it would be dope if we did have a setting where we were all together at one time with
That
the
would be
drinks and
dope.
all of that. Man,
Dope.
like on a rooftop or in a certain area or a restaurant,
That'd be
once
kind of
everybody
fun,
got,
Jack.
That would be
yeah,
That'd be
man,
kind of
Man, y'all ain't
fun.
getting
yeah.
y'all ain't getting me in trouble.
You there, man. It's over with.
Hmm.
You gotta be there. There's
I'm
no.
look. I'm the only married man there. Y'all, no, I ain't going with y'all, man. I just hang out on the rooftop. But wherever
Man,
y'all
y'all
go
go
from
ahead.
there, that's on y'all.
Man, yeah, go ahead and go
I
home,
mean,
man.
if it got to that, if we got to that, Leonard, then Antoine most definitely would be with us, and he's married as well. So you'll have you a
He
partner.
ain't going to no rooftop. Ting! Get your ass.
But
Get your
I'm just
ass
saying
from
that
up
Leonard
there.
will have. All right.
Out of control, guys.
I'm
What's wrong
messing
with
with you,
y'all?
man. I'm messing with you. No,
Okay,
but that's the only thing.
let's get back to the show. Let's get back to the show.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, we got off topic.
let me ask y'all this.
Uh,
Okay, this is another, and this goes back to, I guess, us not caring much about designers. But one thing that I do to get off the people of Fragcom, but to get on the industry of Fragcom for a second,
Mhm.
um, as far as designers are concerned, it seems like all designers have run out of creativity. It seems like all they're creating these days are flankers, right?
yeah.
That's something that annoys me as far as what annoys us or what we don't like in Fragcom. I would love to be able to find a new designer fragrance that wasn't, because I guess out of all of us, I'm the one that has the, well, I don't have a lot of designers, but um I'm the one that have the most variety of fragrances. So
Lies,
huh,
lies,
lie.
Well, he's got me beat, so
lies.
that's true.
Hold on. I got
Oh, look
If
variety.
it's
Watch
true,
this.
at.
Did he just take
Oh,
that as
okay.
a personal challenge? Is that what he did?
Wait a minute.
that's exactly
Wait a
what he
minute.
did.
He just forgot all about my topic about design and just
Oh
want
Lord,
to
he broke out the vibes, yo. He broke out.
Variety.
Oh
Brother,
my
you
God,
might.
he
Well, I
broke
don't know.
out the
I
full.
might have more designers than you though. I could possibly have more designers than you.
You probably have. I don't think I have that many.
I'm like, I got
Well, you got me beat.
about 15.
But I guess the
Damn.
point I was just trying to make is that the fact that they don't come out with new, they just come out with flankers.
Yeah,
EDT,
I don't.
Elixir.
But I think because I felt like that at one point, but then I thought about it. I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like they know they're just trying to seal the people that don't know no better
Mhm.
for the most part. And
They're just trying to build upon the name that's already out there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's already. I mean, because when you look at it, most of the people that are buying this stuff are not in the frag community anyway. It's just
Mm-hmm.
regular everyday people. So they can come out. Let's say, for instance, I'm just gonna throw this out there. They haven't done this, but we'll just say Blue Day Chanel. Now let's say Chanel decides to come out with Blue Day Chanel elixir.
Mm.
Which
People gonna buy it, but
the
they don't
rumors are
know.
already talking. They feel like
Uh,
because Savage did it, Chanel is going to do it. So the rumors are already out there. So,
I'm gonna need them not to do that.
all right.
But
Well, let me ask you
I
a
think
question, guys.
Oh, go
Do
ahead.
y'all do y'all think that there's starting to be a marriage between designers and niche now?
It's
Nope.
starting to be like that. It's starting to climb up in price. And
Nope.
then some
It
companies
is,
just
Oh, you
but
talking
buy
about
at
buy
price
the
wise?
three.
price point, yeah.
They
Because
I'm
starting to
about to say
climb
price
up.
wise, yeah, but
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Well, let me say, and I'm
when
gonna
you
say this
see
because
designers almost at $200, it's like for real.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
if you think about Elixir,
The Savage Elixir was 180
Elixir,
when it came out, wasn't it?
No,
it
155.
was almost
Mm.
150 when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
because I got that one, that was the only one I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
The larger concentrate of oil in that one than it normally was in the other Savages.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was built more toward the niche style of making fragrance than the past of design. It had less alcohol and more oil in it. So that's why I'm asking. You think that they're trying to merge the two between some of the niche becoming more mass appealing, and then some of the designers becoming more like niche.
I agree with
nah.
Dre. It's not. But
Yeah,
they creeping them prices up though.
the
They
price
creeping
is
them prices
definitely
up.
creeping up. Because when you think
That's the only thing really.
I mean, unless it's
Mm-hmm.
a privé line or a signature line or this, that, and the other, most of them designers is to get them in and get them out. Get them in
I'm
and
about to
get
say they whatever
Mm-hmm.
you can sell the quickest. Like they
Yep.
I mean, because even if you look at I'll take my local Dillard's for example. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all the regular 1 millions, Chanel's, all the regular stuff, it'd be in one section. I never knew that on the complete opposite side of that, like a complete opposite side of the store, is where they have like the Creed kind of boutique-ish thing. They
Wow.
got
Okay.
Creed, they got Joe Malone, I think they got Initio. They just put them over to where the regular stuff is, but at first that's where all the stuff was like in a completely different area. So it's like
Mm.
a lot of times they're not even marketing to people that know anything about this. Like they're not well not that know anything about it. They're not marketing to people that don't know anything about it. So if you're coming in there, you're not looking for that. Like nobody's coming in there asking, "Hey man, where's the latest Creed?" Not out of
Mm-hmm.
Dillard's. So they're not even
Mm-hmm.
putting that in the normal fragrance area. They got in a completely
Mm-hmm.
separate area because if you know who you know, you can go over there, you gonna look at it, you gonna buy it because that's the high price stuff. Let you know now, buying Creed retail is crazy. But either way, yeah, like they I don't think in essence they're trying to merge per se. Like the only thing that's
Well,
even getting
not
close to the
necessarily
price.
merge. I'm
Well,
not saying
I'm just
merge.
using that term,
but
but
just coming
I'm trying
closer
to.
as
I'm
far
trying. Let me
as
say,
coming closer.
yeah. There's a
yeah,
certain market that buys niche, and there's a certain market that buys designer up to a
yeah,
price point. And I think that with designers, when you get $80, $90 a bottle, that's pretty close to top end. For people that are not really into fragrances, they spend $100 a bottle. That's a lot of money. So for them to get to $100 on a $200 on a fragrance, they have to have the mindset that, okay, I'm not at the $80-$90 mark, which is my high end. Now I'm with the big boys. I'm at 150.
Well,
Or
even with
200
that,
now
if
for
you
a
look at it,
strong.
I don't know when the last time y'all been to a store and actually looked at designers. And I only know this because I did it recently. Most, like I said, it's really just the price point because all the price points of the used to be more affordable things that used to be like $80-$90, all of them going up to like 120, 140.
Ah.
You can
Oh,
get
so they didn't really change it, but they
no, they
did
didn't
change it
change the
from
formula at all. No.
on the
Just went
So
elixir.
you
up.
can
They
go
did.
right now. You can go right now. Go to one of these stores and look at a bottle of. I'm just keep using Chanel. Blue Day Chanel is going to cost you about $110
And that's
easily.
that's not even for a 3.4 ounce because of 3.4 ounce is going to
Nope.
cost about 150, 160, right? And so, but
I'm about to say that all the prices went up.
niches is going up too. Niche is going up
Yeah.
too,
Oh yeah.
right? Because the retail for because remember I just did my little project on my shelf on my things right there, and I'm going through looking at retail prices of stuff like that. The prices of I paid $330 for my must therapy. It's $370 now retail.
Good God
Yeah.
Almighty.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I think Louis Vuitton went up like $20 recently. Creed is always going up and then providing less.
Right.
It's like a lot of them. I think that's just mainly because of how everything. I think this is just around the world type thing. Like everything is going up. Like a
Inflation.
carton of eggs going to run you about $7-8.
But they eggs went back down though. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like in essence of where the world is right now, everything is kind of inflated. So I'm pretty sure like the materials it costs to make this stuff cost more. So they're just raising the price on everything.
Yep.
Which I hate that too. Another thing I hate,
hate. We can't say hate. We can't say
dislike.
Thank you, Rob.
I don't think I got nothing else.
You're right.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, talk. I'll be right back.
I'll tell you one thing I dislike. That's a good thing though. I dislike when you go into retail shops to look just sample fragrances, and you end up knowing more than the person that's selling them to trying to sell them to you. That's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to think, because I went to a Creed counter today in Neiman's, and so I asked her just out of curiosity. I'm not a big Adventist fan. Asked them if they had F batches. So she said, "Well, what the F batches?" I said, "Yeah, F batch code of Adventist." She said, "Oh yeah, we have Adventist." I said, "With the melt tops." "Oh yeah, we have that." So I said, "I don't really want it. I just want to see what the changes were made on this." So she said, "Well, yeah, it has a melt top. They changed it, and Adventist has this in it." I said, "Ma'am, I'm aware of what Adventist is. It's got the greatest new, ma'am. I know. Well, let me let you smell this one. Let me smell, ma'am. I have that one, but let me show you this one, ma'am. I have that one. The ones I don't have is because I don't want them." And she looked at me like she really didn't believe me. But then when I guess she questioned me, said, "Okay, which ones do you like?" So I started naming them. "Oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, sometimes you have to go in and give a tutorial session to the people trying to sell to you.
That's when I just find it kind of comical. Because I'm like, I think there's at that point, because I went through that when I was in Atlanta and I went to Neiman's and I was pretty much teaching them the same way. And I'd actually asked about a Rosia that they had sitting out crazily, newer. She didn't even know it existed. She was like, "Oh yeah, this is a Rosia. Let me see. It costs $900. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I just want to see what it smells like. People been telling me about it, or whatever." But it was at that moment I realized, like, oh, these people literally just have a job. Like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
you're not in the field for the same thing we're in it for. You're here for a paycheck, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody needs a job, of course, but it's just, I guess, taking yourself out of the culture that we're in and putting kind of bring yourself back to the real world and realizing like
Well,
most
but
of these people don't care.
I think though, Dre, just it's kind of like going to a car dealership. If I go to the car dealership, I'm gonna research before I get there. But then,
Mm-hmm.
if you're trained in that particular make and model, and I ask you a question, you should be able to answer those questions. I
Well,
should
but
know
then
more about a product that you sell every day.
but I kind of put myself in those shoes. I'll take it back to when I used to work at restaurants. I was a server at a wing restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking me anything about the food, I'm not gonna know. If I didn't eat it, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Like it's just kind of how it is. Like I'm here for a job. I'm here to sell you this. That's about all. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really care about the ins and outs of it. And then like I think for people like us, you have to really care about what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
to
That's
be
true.
actually knowledgeable. A lot of people aren't actually caring. They just want. Well, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just you need a job. You have a job.
Mm-hmm.
You're just doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
I think just a lot of these people aren't passionate about their jobs. They're just doing a job to be doing it, just because they need a paycheck. So that's why I kind of put myself in that mind frame, because I know I used to be the same way when I was working at different. I used to work at UPS. I couldn't tell you nothing about nothing. I know how to stock. I mean, I know how to unload a truck, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I don't know the process of all this other stuff. Like
Don't care, huh?
it's just all, yeah, you just don't care. Like,
My,
am I doing my job? Cool. Like, do you want it or not?
my
I think
wife,
that's
my wife was like
uh,
the queen of small talk. Anytime we went somewhere, went out of town, or where we had to take an Uber, by the time we got out that Uber ride, she would know that person's life story.
Mm-hmm.
And not only would she ask questions, she would actually care about the answer. To go to kind of what Dre's point, this, that, and the other, when we go to a restaurant and this, that, and the other, she would want to experience what we knew on there, but then she would also care about the waitress or the wait staff and this, that, and the other. And she'd be like, okay, well, what do you drink when you here? You know, what do you eat while you here? Right? Because she wants to know that you think that the stuff is worthy for it to invest it into your life and this, that, and the other. So, like Dre was saying that, folks who don't go and don't know about this, that, and the other, like that philosophy. I go to a store and I'll be like, what you wear? What do you want to put your man? What do you want to put on your man? Just gotta get a taste of this, that, and the other. What do you smell when you what do you pick up when you smell this? Well, can you break it down and tell me what's in this? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Let me know that you've gotten some type of investment into what you show me.
Mm-hmm.
This, that, and the other.
yeah.
That goes with everything, this, that, and the other. And especially here in Colorado, you go, you deal with that element, and you like, okay, don't just sell me what you have on sale. Where's the good stuff? So you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So right.
How
I know
about
the time.
and oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the times that I went retail, the person who knew something about it, it kind of made me. The interaction was a lot different than when the person didn't know. When they
Mm,
had to scramble, like especially going to Raven, ooh, they have to run and go get a paper or whatever. But when the manager came out and knew about the fragrances, knew what was in it, try to get an understanding of your profile, they was leading me in a certain direction. It just hit different, and I wound up making a purchase. And
mm,
some of the when I went to Neiman's and the person really didn't know much of anything, it wasn't until a person who really knew something kind of engaged me to make me kind of feel more better about making a purchase. Because it
But
just
see,
seemed to me, you're just putting a pretty face in front of me trying to get me to buy something. And I knew what I
and
wanted to get, but it made me get more than one bottle, whereas at first I was going in to get one.
I'm about to say, and that's how it is. Like when I was working, like, and I'm just gonna take it back to the wing thing because I think it applies
Mm-hmm.
to pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went by the book at first, and
Mm-hmm.
I was doing what they said. Come out, tell you the special, whatever, blah blah blah. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything about the special. Like, hey, it's super cool. Um, but then after I started to realize, like, okay, I'm doing it by the book. I'm wearing what they want me to wear. All
Yeah.
this, whatever, is not giving me the results that I need. So then I switched it up. I said, okay, I'm not doing this no more. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And of course, they didn't want me to do that. But hey, whatever. The customer is enjoying themselves. I'm enjoying myself. I'm getting a way bigger tip now. It's like I think if you can apply yourself to something and halfway make yourself love it, you'll be all right. Like if I can talk to you enough in a fragrance store and just make the conversation enjoyable, you'll probably just buy something anyway. Just because I was so cool. Like I don't have to know nothing. Like, oh man, I could literally just say, like right now, if I was to come up, no, if you were to come up and you're asking about this, I haven't tried it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to, now it's joke time because I don't know what I'm talking about. So, it's going to be joking. Oh, man.
Is that Cedar Hill Fetty?
What, this?
No.
Stop the madness. What's wrong with you?
You're like,
you ever do that?
That's blasphemy.
You know what it is? You know what it is? We didn't hit the hour and 20-minute mark, and so
oh, he trying to cut it off. Too late. I'm already mid-story. You're going down this rabbit hole. But yeah, like I think if
you making a point that you might mention something, I was making a point like kind of like you did with Cedar Alfetti.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's all it is.
Nobody can find it.
A lot of times it's all about engagement. Like if you can find out how to engage with people and how to kind of sway what they're thinking, that's an easy sell. Like all I did in these groups was be funny a little bit, say weird stuff, and then get a whole bunch of stuff I didn't need, and then everybody started following me. Then they're like, "Oh man, I need it."
Crime Rock did the same thing, mentioned something else, and nobody else can get it either.
No, I'm saying like that's all it takes. Like all it takes.
The same thing. That's why I don't mention mine. I don't say nothing about no Clyde. I don't need nobody that getting Clyde.
It's too late. Somebody already followed you with the town and country. So like you can't get away from it. It's like when you have such a, I think it's just personality. It's like when you have that prominent personality, you can pretty much sell anything.
Which that's not even a bad thing in Fragcom to build that type of reputation that where people trust your nose to the point where they're like, okay, he like it. It must be good because I look at his collection. It looks like he knows what he's talking about. This, that, and the other. I can go for it, right?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. It's just when it gets out of control.
I think somebody recently, today or yesterday, asked you about something you posted in your top 10, where they could get it. It was D Park sent. They asked about where you get it from.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that.
It was in your collection.
Typically is why they always asking us what we, because they don't know about that one. They want to know about that one.
I think today somebody asked about two people asked about Park Sense. Somebody, one of them was in the comments, and the other one hit me on the messenger. Yeah, they were like, I know one of them remembered me from the Brotherhood. He was like, I see that's still in your top 10, so I need to go ahead and get my nose on that. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do that.
And he just brought bottles back out too. I seen where he, was advertising he's selling, but he just brought some bottles back out, right?
Who, D? Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, the Father's Day sale.
Yeah, so he has some available. I'll try to link it. His link down at the bottom. And so if anybody's interested, you can go ahead and check him out. We don't get paid. We just show love. Right.
Gotta do that.
Right.
I got my son today. I didn't have it the other time.
What you got?
I'm about to say I don't even know what that is.
God damn.
he just got it up there.
Y'all know? Y'all seen this one?
He said we don't know the name of it.
I mean, but we're hoping that we got multiple users and new users. I mean, new subscribers watching. Describe it to them.
It's
And me.
Fort Manley. It's Fort Manley. The company is a Australian house, Fort Manley, and this one is Under Which River Flows. It's a very limited edition.
Well, I'm tripping.
Indiana Jones, yo.
30
Ain't go
mil.
flying there. 800.
Only made it for 1 year.
I'm gonna get it.
You ain't gonna
I'm
You
about
ain't
to
gonna get it.
find it.
The Indiana Jones of
You'd have to
fragrance.
get that one from overseas, Dre.
I'll find it
I'm
one
going
way
to
or
get
the other.
that. Yeah.
What am I going with?
It ain't no
Indiana
good. I can tell you that it ain't no good.
I'm still getting it. Just because you got it, I'm getting it.
It stinks. It smells like vanilla layered musk is what it smells like. Vanilla layered musk.
My favorite.
Wow, bro.
I'm going with House of Siege, Batman Vengeance. Somebody asked me why this one in my top 10. I told them because it's not in my top 10.
I was gonna ask you about that, man. When I read that, smile. But you responded tastefully though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't want to be rude about it. I'm just like, because it's not. It's my top 10. Of course it's not.
I wouldn't put it in my top. It's okay. It's good. I like it. But I wouldn't put it in my top 10 if I had a top 10.
Yeah, nah. I would. It's definitely a good one, but as far as it just can't reach top 10 status.
If I had to say, I would put that in category of every day.
I think this might be my favorite Creed right here, Royal Oud.
You ran it back.
This is a boss scent right here, y'all. You might this is a boss scent right here.
Rock. Try Tabaron Millicine, man.
I smelled that at the mall, man. It didn't do a lot for me, but I'm gonna smell it again.
Go back to it. I didn't like it at first.
Look at him. The vintage.
What is that, Dre?
You got a vintage bottle. This is a 2018.
Oh, my bad. This is 2011.
20. You got that real.
Which one is that, Dre?
Huh?
That's Royal Oud.
That's Royal Oud.
Royal Oud.
Is that what you got?
Okay. Yeah, vintage. You got the vintage.
Hey man, y'all getting too many creeds over there, man. Y'all need to lighten up.
Oh no. You see all them creeds up there, man. What's wrong? I'm creeded out.
You need to purge it, bro. Purge it.
He said purge it, huh?
Nah.
Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, purge it.
I thought about it,
You're
but
rocking it.
I can't find one I want to
sell. Sell a creed, man.
That's what I'm saying. I was looking, I thought about it, but I was like, I love all of them. I can't get rid of all of them.
It's good. They're good, man. They're good. You just have to know the reason that they're made.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I'm not trying to.
People don't know that.
Trying to go out here and blast somebody in the face and nothing, so that'll be good. Oh, it's right here, bang it up.
B man, what you doing, B man? What is that, Ray?
It's a Roja PDV line. It's PDV 9.
I think he showed that the other day, didn't he? 2 days ago.
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
Dre, can I be on the up and up with you, man?
What's going on?
I went to Neiman's. I've been trying to give Roja a chance, man, but they really ain't doing it for me, man.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's how it usually goes. Like,
yeah,
they
acquired taste.
Yeah,
taste. Yeah, but the last fragrance that the last brand that I would freaking purge would be Creed, because I ain't going through this. I mean, especially Aventus. I'm not going through all that with them people.
Nah.
Yeah, you try to get rid of Vinny, you go, so what batch model is this? And
right.
I don't care nothing about that, man.
Oh, they can be doing a whole bunch of stuff you ain't got time for.
They want you to take the top off. They want you to take the cap off, and then you don't happen with no other brand. They want to know the batch code.
Oh, it does. It
But
definitely
they
happens with
only do
others.
that. They only do
Mhm.
that with a Venice.
They don't
They
do
don't
that
do
with
it with the
Vince
other
Chuck.
creeds.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying somebody did that with a bull diesel I had too.
Mm.
Mm.
They was like, "Hey man, could you show me the batch code?" Like, sir, this ain't Creed. What are you talking about? Ain't no batch code.
Now I heard good things
Rock, like
about
and
that.
subscribe.
The older Virgin Island water. I heard that was pretty dope. Don't you got the vintage Virgin Island water too? I heard that was
Uh,
pretty dope.
I got regular.
no, not Virgin Island Water. Virgin Island Water just came out a couple of years ago, 2018, 2019, I believe.
They were saying the early ones is different. That's what they claim. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's
Not Virgin
any other
Island Water.
thing. I mean, I really, I
Mm.
mean, well, it's a distinct difference within Creed with the 2016 batches and beyond.
Mm.
But the rest of
Okay.
them, I don't think it's that much of a difference. All right.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least
You
I
said like and subscribe though.
like, follow, and subscribe, and share us out.
Mm-hmm.
We are back in full effect. We do appreciate that you guys are coming back. The ones that have been loyal and came back and noticed that we've been gone for a minute, but now we're back. We're going to try to bring these shows back on a regular basis, and I think we like these two shows that we did. Recently they were cool. We were just conversating. This is what we want the show to be, just like a conversation about frags because we love them. So if that's you and you love hearing from us, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you know when we're coming out with you. Right? Typically we're here 7 o'clock every Sunday evening. These shows are being taped now, but we got a couple of live ones coming down the pipe. So watch out and listen for us and this, that, and the other. We are the Frag Illuminati. Myself is Rock. We got Leonardo DiCaprio, G-Man, and Be Easy. And so if that's all, fellas, if you guys want to say your own goodbyes.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Oh, my bad.
Hey.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
My bad. I forgot what we was
Last
at.
time I give him the mic.
Holler at y'all for the next week. Y'all know how we do. We'll be back again with the back again. Somebody send us some ideas, guys. Stop playing.
Oh my
Hey
God.
man, I'm
Yo.
scared to even say nothing right now, man.
Yo,
I
cut,
was trying
yo,
to
cut.
contain dislike and hate.
Dude.
Hey, Rock, can you do a beep on that, man?
We
You couldn't catch it quick
we can
enough.
cut it out. We can do something.
We out, fellas. We out.
We out. We the Illuminati.
Holla.